Bechoros Daf Lamed Tes. So yesterday we discussed the mum of watery eyes and this whole process they have to go through. You have to give the animal moist hay and then dry hay. You go through this process for 90 days, for 3 months. Asks Pinchas, the brother of Shmuel, the great Shmuel, asks him, when exactly is the mum chal? Do we say that after the 3 months, now we know it's a mum? Or retroactively, we understand that the mum was there on day one? What's the difference? If somebody went ahead and redeemed the animal on day one, and then he used the redemption money, is that considered mi'ilah? Does he have to bring a carbon asham or not? If we find out that the mum was retroactive to day one, so then it was a good redemption, then he did a mi'ilah and he's chayav a carbon. But if the mum only occurred after 3 months, then it's not a redemption, he's not chayav anything. Says Pinchas to his brother, you stumped me. And he quotes a pasuk, Pischim bizizuvaz. Sometimes even handicapped, the crippled, could go and take the loot from the war. In other words, even though you're not that smart, you're able to get me. I don't have an answer for you. Says the Mishnah, we're actually working our way from top to bottom. When you discuss the eyes, we're going to move on to the nose, to the lips, etc. The nose. What's a mum in the nose? If there's missing apart from the outside of the nostrils, or there's a slit, there's a hole through and through, that's a mum. But if the mum was in the septum, the dividing wall between the nostrils, since you don't see it, that's not a mum. When it comes to the lips also, if they're missing a part, if they have a slit, that's a mum. But what part of the lip? The part that touches each other when they're closed like this. That part is the only part of the lip, but inside is not considered a mum. When we talk about gums, and we mentioned this earlier, the front gums, if they're missing a piece, if they have a slit, that's a mum. But the rear gums, the ones that are under the molars, the Gemara calls them tyoimes, they're twins because they're very wide teeth that look like 2 teeth each. In fact, they're one very large tooth. That part of the gum, according to one man Omar, only if it's completely uprooted, and then you could shecht, according to Yeshua ben Kavitsai, you don't shecht, not in the Migdash, not in the Medina. We discussed about the mum needing to be exposed outside of the body. In order for Bechar, in order to shecht, you need like Iver, it has to be blind from the outside, and in order for B'sulei Migdashim, in order to redeem it, also needs to be an outer mum. As the Gemara, what about an inner mum missing a kidney, missing an entire organ? So the Gemara brings 2 brises that contradict each other. On the one hand, the brisa says that if you have an animal has 1 kidney or 3 kidneys, it's completely possible. On the other hand, there's a brisa that says 1 kidney is kosher. So the Gemara attempts 4 different ways to answer the question. The Gemara says maybe perhaps everybody agrees that an animal cannot be born with 1 kidney. What's a machlokes? Machlokes is if a chesaron, and that's our question, if something that's missing inside the body is considered a chesaron or not. The brisa that says that it's possible because it is considered a chesaron. Or everybody agrees that an animal can be born with a single kidney. The question is, one brisa discusses a case where it was born with 1 kidney and therefore it's not a mum because there's nothing wrong with it. But the other brisa is talking about a case where it was born with 2 kidneys, you removed 1, and that's why it's a mum. Or the machlokes says, can an animal be born with 1 kidney or not? And finally, the Gemara says, perhaps the machlokes is, when exactly did you remove the kidney? If you removed it before Kabbalah, because there's 4 avodas in the Beis HaMikdash. There's Shchita, Kabbalah, Hoilacha, and Zrika. And if you remove the kidney before Kabbalah, that's definitely a mum. But if you removed it after the Kabbalah, then that's okay. Like the Gemara brings a brisa that in order to do Zrika Saddam, all you need to remain from the animal is 1 single kazayis, even though there's no other meat left. When it comes to one other halacha, and that is that we have to be careful about the hours of the animal. His birthday is based on hours, not days and years and calendar years. It's based on hours. So if an animal was born Erev Pesach at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you shechted the animal at right before 11, so you're okay by the shechita. But if the zrika was at 11:05, now he's already 2 years old after he died, that's not a good carbon. When it talks about the machlokes in beitzim, we're not discussing a machlokes regarding an inner mum. We're actually talking about an outer mum. Rabbi Yehuda will say that moch and kasos, meaning crushed beitzim, is actually an outer mum, even though beitzim are inside, but you could visibly see it from the outside. It looks shriveled. Or if it's detached, you could see that it falls in the sack. And Rabbi Yossi is going to say, Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov is going to say that's not considered a mum because when it's healthy, it also sometimes looks shriveled and sometimes looks like it fell. And Rabbi Yossi holds that natuk v'karus, since they are cut but they're there, then it's considered that they're around in the world and it's not a mum. But moch, when it's crushed, is considered not in the world. When it comes to the actual member, according to everybody, if it's missing, then if it's cut, if that's a real mum. But if it just it's missing a small part, that could heal, and that's not a mum. Says the Mishnah, if the zoiven was nivgan. Zoiven is a pouch where the actual member retracts into. The pouch is more sensitive than the actual member. In other words, the pouch, if it's missing a small piece, it doesn't heal. Whereas the member, we said, it does heal. The Gemara says tremendous chiddush that there was a place in Inbel where a wolf came and removed the entire pouch. That does heal. So the entire pouch heals, a small part does not heal. When it comes to a female animal, which doesn't apply by bchar, only by kachim like shlamim, so if a piece of the nekevos is missing, that's a mum. When it comes to the tail, then the mum is in the part of the bone, and if there's a separation between the vertebrae, the size of a finger, that's also a mum. What finger? Because the tefach, it consists of either 6 pinkies or 4 or 5 middle fingers or 4 thumbs. Says the Gemara, we're talking about thumbs. 1 finger is 25% of a tefach. And we see the same concept by tzitzis, that it's machlokes b'sham yisrael how long it has to be, 3 fingers or 4 fingers. We're referring to the thumb, and in the Beis Hamikdash there were 2 measuring sticks. One was 24 fingers plus a half a finger, and we're talking about the finger meaning the thumb. And why was it more than Moshe Rabbeinu's 24 fingers? Why did they add that extra half a finger and on the second one a full finger? So that people that make things for the Beis Hamikdash, they shouldn't cheat the Hegdish and they shouldn't be over, so that they had to give a little bit more. And when it came to silver and gold, they gave only a half a finger more, and when it came to other things, they gave a full finger. Have a wonderful day.